Hi everyone, it's Jerry. This is Game 12 from the 2016 World Chess Championship match between our current champion Magnus Carlsen playing on the white end and challenger Sergey Karjakin. Going into Game 12, we remain level, 5.5 points apiece. This is the final classical time control game. A winner in Game 12 and we would have a world champion. Otherwise, tiebreaks are necessary. So let's see what approach was taken in Game 12. Carlsen opening with e4, Karjakin replying with e5. Once more, we see the Ruy Lopez. I did a poll before this Game 12 asking, would we see the Ruy Lopez or something else? There was a 60-40 split on that question. So let's see what we have now. Game 3 is what we're following. You may recall Game 3 was the longest game of the entire match, nearly a 7-hour battle. We're still following Game 3. Let's see where we have something change. Knights are gone. d4 is in. And in Game 3 we had on this move 10, rook to e2. In this game, the rook comes all the way back. Not too big a difference. Rook e8, bishop f4. Perfectly symmetrical structure. Rooks are exchanged, and now we have a little reposition of the knight, preparing to deploy the bishop on its natural diagonal. This is not a moment for black to really try and go for a pawn grab. Instead of knight to e8, bishop takes pawn. White could follow up with bishop takes knight, and after pawn takes c3, bishop c4, and double isolated pawns. It's true white is down a pawn, but white is probably the preferred side here. This is a little bit awkward for black to complete queenside development. So what was played in the game? Knight to e8, not bishop takes d, c3, it's reinforcing that center point. And here we go with d5. Preparing bishop f5. That's ruled out. Bishop d3. g6, what's the idea behind this? This is a flight square for the king. And black prepares to, let's say, fianchetto the knight, so that bishop f5 can't come. Knight a3. This is already designed to one day challenge a black knight on f5. The white knight is keying in on the e3 square. c6, there was an idea by white to converge on these squares. c7, d6, so that's ruled out. White immediately repositions the knight. That's just a pivot square. And so too is g7 for the black knight. Queen d7. Light square bishops are gone, and so too are the knights. Very simplified position. Queens are now gone. Many major pieces exchanged. Common when you just have one open file. That is now occupied. Bishop f8, both sides get their king towards the center. g4, white is tying in, putting pawns on light squares. Ties in well with the dark square bishop. There's some nice control on the king side squares. There's not a way for the king to enter in any way on the king side for as long as white maintains the pawn on g4, and white can maintain that pawn on g4. h3, rook to e8. The rooks are now exchanged, and you see where we're going in this game. Both players are just getting to move 30, at which point they can agree to a draw. And that's exactly what they did at this moment here. They didn't go a single move further. I thought that this would be the approach in the match, where if Game 10, once Game 10 was reached, if it was still level, I thought both players would play a little bit conservative and try to take it into tie breaks, and sure enough, that is what's going to happen. Tiebreaks will take place on November 30th, and that will consist of 4 rapid games. Time controls 25 minutes with a 10-second increment. If necessary, after that best of 4 rapid games, if necessary, they'll play a group of 2 blitz games. Time controls 5 minutes with a 3-second increment, up to a total of 5 groups of 2 blitz games if necessary. And should it still be level at that point, it will come down to 1 game, an Armageddon game. White has 5 minutes, black has 4 minutes, no increment until move 61. It would have a 3-second increment once move 61, 61 and beyond. But yeah, I don't think it's going to come down to Armageddon. They would do a drawing for lots in that game, and the winner of that gets to choose the color. I do not expect it coming down to Armageddon. That would be pretty crazy. I don't know that we've ever experienced something like that. It's possible, but quite unlikely. Tie breaks, we can say for sure, are necessary in this match. In this game here, there's no progress to be made. No good pawn breaks will benefit either side. This pawn stays put on g4. Yes, they were content with a quick draw. Well, really, Carlsen in this one was content with the draw. Something conservative. We saw that by Karjakin in game 11. So what more to add? November 30th is actually Carlsen's birthday, so that's interesting. And yeah, at the very least, 3 more games will be necessary, so I'll be covering at least 3 more games the next time you hear from me on YouTube. So we'll see how it all plays out. It's now 6-6 after 12 games. What more to add? The tail the tape. Yeah. That's a flatliner like we have never seen before. Nothing to speak of. Inaccuracies, mistakes, blunders. 2 average centi-pawn loss for Carlsen and just 1 for Karjakin. They were content with a draw in this one. So, yep. Tie breaks it is, November 30th. That's a Wednesday, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are as well. It's guaranteed a winner will be determined on that day. All tie-break games, 11/30/2016. Catch you there. Take care. Bye.